Welcome everyone to this great Lynyrd Skynyrd song. This is one of those bar songs that always gets people moving. I'm going to upload a video of me playing this in 1987, so that was a little bit while ago. Our band Fantasia at the time, there were a bunch of talented musicians who took me on after they lost their lead guitar player. And anyhow, I'll upload the video and I'll have a little intro to it. So anyhow, we're in standard tuning. My notes are linked right below the video, so you can download those, follow along with the video, or just use them. I had a few surprises in learning this song, some octaves, some things I knew, but again, it was really a matter of learning it the correct way. So we'll start the lesson and I'll show you all the different intricacies of the song. So to start the song out with, we're going to be on the 7th fret of the 4th and 3rd string. We'll hit that twice before we go to the 9th fret of the 5th string. We'll repeat that and then one more time to the 7th. So we'll have this. Then what we do is go 7, 9 on the 5th to 7 on the 4th and 3rd. And then we're going to go 7, 9 and open on the 5th. Alright, so that's kind of the first half measure of the intro. And it's that open A is leading us to the A that we'll do next. But let's go up to that point. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, at that point we're going to just change to the 2nd fret and hit the 4th on the 5th string. So it's basically the same pattern, we're just exchanging 2 and 4. Right, I'm going to stop there. So the next half with the 2 to 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. The next time we hit 2 to 4, we're not going to hit the open A, we're going to hit the open 4th string, the D note, because we're coming back to D. This surprised me. I think I always played an open A string. And, you know, again, when you're playing it, as you'll see in the video, it doesn't matter, you're going with the mood, but in the song, doing and start it again. So I'm going to do that whole first measure, and then we'll go back over the second measure. 1, 2, 3, 4. Went a little bit into the next measure, but the next measure starts out just the same as we did, even to the open A, and then we go up to the A chord. All right, so the second measure. All right, at this point, we're going to hit the A twice, one more time, and then we go 2, 2nd fret of the 5th and 4th string, referencing an E, and then to the 4th fret. referencing an F sharp. And then to a D chord. Alright, so we have this. Alright, the D is real significant because they do the same pattern, whether he's playing a D at the 5th position or the 1st position where we're at here. It's going to be down, down, and then a down up, then 2 more downs, and then a down up. Alright, so let's take that second measure together. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we got the intro started. We're going to move to the lead next. So for the first measure of the lead, what we're going to do a steel string style bend. So we're holding the 10th fret of the 2nd string. We're going to bend the 9th fret of the 3rd string. All right. This is very common in steel string guitar, and you hear it in a lot of rock songs too. We've done even in the past. But what we're going to do is 3 gradual bends and then release with that 9. Alright, so we're on the 10th fret of the 2nd string, holding that and bending the 3rd string. Alright, so it'll sound like this. So the 4th one we release. At that point, we're going to go to the 7th fret, and this will be on the 3rd and 2nd string. Okay, so what we're going to do is hit that twice and then go to 9 on the 4th string. Alright, so what we have so far up to the 9, 1, 2, 3, 4. Come back to the 7, then we're going to bend the 9 up and release while holding the 10, back to 7, and then 9 on the 4th string, and then 7 on the 3rd and 2nd string, back to 9, back to 7. Alright, so that whole first lead measure, 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, you'll find again this bends and so forth are very consistent throughout the leads in the song. Even now we're going to go up to the 4th and 5th position. Alright, and what we're going to do is bend that up and then release it, but not, you won't hear the release, and then we'll hit it again with a release. Alright, so we're at the 5 on the 2nd string, bending the 4. So bent, and then bend again and release. Then we grab the 4th string of the 5th fret. So that gives us time to get back to that 7th position. Alright, so this. We're at the 7th position now, and what we're going to do is introduce it. We're going 7 on the 4th string to 9th fret, back to 7 on the 3rd string, then we'll do our 10-9 bent. Alright, it'll sound like this. Back to 7, then a 10 again, 9 bend and release. Alright, so we have so far. Now we're going to bend 9 again, and it'll be 2 gradual bends and then a release. Then we hit 7, 9 alone, back to the 2 7s, 9 and 7s. Alright, so let's take it from the beginning with the 7 to 9. This will be the 2nd measure after we've done the 5-4. 1, 2, 3, 4. kind of the first two measures of the lead. All right, so the next measure of this intro solo, we're coming up to the 6th string and it'll sound like this. All right, so what we're doing, 6th string, open to 3rd and 4th fret. We'll go to the 5th string, 2, 4, to the 4th string, 2, back to the 5th string with the 3rd fret bent slightly. And then hit an A power chord. So we have this so far. Then we come up to our, this is an A, D form of A, we've slid up. So we're at the 9th fret of the 1st and 3rd string and 2nd fret at 10. Just slide that down. All right, so next we pick right back up 7th position. We're going to bend 9 and release it, hit 7 on the 3rd and 2nd string, back to 9 on the 4th, to the 7s, and then 9 bent up with 10, and it changes a little bit. We're going to hit the 1st string at 10. So let me show you that. So it's a weird kind of bend. We're bending 9 along with 10 holding there, but just lay your finger across and you're going to catch the 1st string. More of an upstroke when you catch that. So there's 2 of those, all right? And that's going to take us to another walk down. Let's go over that to that point. We're going to start with the 9 bend and release, 7, 9, 7s. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now what we're going to do is go up to the 10th fret on the 5th string, and we're going to do an octave. I didn't hear this until I started learning the song. I always did. Alright, so as I was learning the song, I heard they were doing something different. So we're going to hit the 10th fret of the 5th string, the 12th fret of the 3rd string, and we'll do that twice. Then just play octaves down, 10, 9, 8, 7. And once I heard it, it was like, wow, the light bulb went off. Same with the chorus. The chorus really surprised me. But we'll get into that in a second. So here we are again. We'll be at the 10th fret with the 12th octave. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you want to mute that 4th string, but yeah, that's the little walk down at that point. All right, we're going to come back to our 10-9 bent. All right, so at this point, what it is, a 10-9 bent and release without hitting again. Now we're going to hit it again and bend and release. So it'll sound like this. So then we're back to the 7 twice to 9. So up to the 9, 1, 2, 3, 4. Back to the 7. Then our 9 bent up and release to 7. 9 on the 4th. And then 7, 9, 7 with the 3rd and 2nd string. All right. So that last part after the octaves, I'll walk down from the octaves. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, then we finish off just like we did with the intro with no lead. We're going to go to the A, strike that 3 times. And then we go 2, 4 on the 5th and 4th string. And then D. So for the verses, basically what we're going to be doing is playing D and A. All right, the D fifth root position, we'll be adding our pinky to it. The A fifth root position, sixth string, we'll stretch up to 10. All right, so the pattern is basically, I'm going to talk to the fourth string. All right, we'll be playing 7, 9, 7 twice. Then we hit 7 twice to 9, and we'll do that twice. All right, so that's our first measure, or first half measure of the verse. So we'll sound all together like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we move to the A. All right, we're going to do 7 to 9. We'll do that twice. Now we're going to hit the A twice to 9, and then change it. We'll go from 7 to 10, back to 9. All right, so start from the beginning because I messed up there. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So when we stretch from 10, we let off to 7, back to 9, and then back to 7. All right, so again, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, that is the first measure of the verse. Now we come back down to the D with the same pattern. Then we're going to do that. We're going to do a walk down. All right, this will be on the 6th string to 5th and 4th. All right, so it's really odd, and as I learned this, again, I've played it wrong for years. It was like after the pull off, he hits the 2nd string and slides right back into the D chording. So the walk down starts out on the 6th string, 0, 3, 4, to the 5th string, 2, 4, to the 4th string, 2. Then we're going to pull off on the, hit the 3rd fret of the 5th string, bent, and then a 0, open. All right, so we have this so far. Then again, before we did the little thing, but then again, this is a little different. So he's going 3, 4 on the 5th string after the open to an A power chord on the 4th and 3rd string. And then you're going to hit 3rd fret of the 5th string with a pull to open. And then you're going to take the 2nd string of the 5th fret, hit that, slide up to the chord, and continue on. Okay, so I know it's a lot of notes. Let's go through this slowly so you can see how we get into the next measure. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the next measure starts out just the same with our D. What we do after that 9, we're going to hit the open 6th string. Then we're going to come up and play a G power chord just on the 6th and 5th string. We'll go from 3 times to 2, 1, and open. All right, at that point, you're going to hear a lick, and the lick will come in. It'll be open 6th string, 2nd fret hammered onto 4, to 2nd fret of 5, and then we'll hammer on 2 to 4, and then we'll hit the 4th fret at 2, and then hammer on 2 to 4, and then 2 on the 3rd string. So it's easier to show you than talk it out, so it'll sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, so let's take it from that 3rd measure where we go into the D, and then we'll do our walk down in that lick. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're right back to our D lick. The only difference here in this 4th measure, the very last 7/5 gets hit twice before we hit 9. So watch what I'm doing here. 7 to 9 twice, 7 twice to 9, and then 7, it'll really be 3 times to 9. Alright, then we're going to move up to the 5th fret of the 6th string, our A. So what we're doing is starting off in the 2nd half of it. We're going to hit it twice on the 7 before we go to 9, back to 7, and then stretch up to 10, back to 7, and then 9. Then we get to go to our D, but we'll play it here at the 5th position. Alright, so the 4th measure with the extra 7 and coming in at the 5th halfway through will sound like this. It sounds a little awkward and slow, but once you get this under your fingers and go over it, it's in my notes, you'll be able to play right with it. It just, everything falls in so well the way they execute this. Okay, so we got the verse down, the first verse, and that's consistent throughout the song. Next, they go into the first solo. Alright, he'll say, well, excuse me. And then you'll hear this. I'm going to do a half measure of it so you can hear what it sounds like. Alright, so what we're doing is our 10-9, bend and release, and then we hit 7 twice before we come back to 9 on the 4th string to the pair of 7s. Then we're going to hit 10 and 9 with a bend and a release, back to 7, 9, and then 7, 9, 7. Alright, so a similar pattern to what we've done, just a little bit different. Now we're going to move to the 5th position, and we'll do more hits here. We're going to hit, holding 5, we're going to hit 4 bent, and then 4 released. Alright, so we have this. Then we go 2 to 4, 2 on the 3rd and 2nd string to 4 on the 4th string. Then we're going to do another bend and release with 5 and 4, back to 2 on the 3rd and 2nd string, back to 4, then 2, 4, 2 on the 3rd and 2nd string. So we'll have, let's just take it from the top. Alright, now we're going to come back to the 10th position, 10-9. Alright, we're going to hit that, it's going to be 8 gradual hits. As we hit it, we're bending it up and then releasing. come back 7-9 and then 7-9-7. And then we're going to end it with our A's and 2-4 and then D. Then we're into verse 2. So verse 2 is exactly the same as verse 1 that we learned. And then we're into the chorus, which the chorus really surprised me. I always played the chorus. Alright, that's not right. So, what I learned, we'll go over with the chorus next. Alright, first measure of the chorus will sound like this. That's going into the next part, but what we're doing here is we're going to hit the D twice quickly, down, up, then open 2 on the 5th string, and then hit 7, our D chord again twice, open a 2, we'll do that 2 more times, then we walk down 3-2 to an A. And then our A is kind of a similar pattern. We're going to hit the A twice to open 6th string, 2nd fret, and then A twice. We'll hit the open and 2 again, A once. Then we're going to do this lick, 3-4 on the 5th string to 2. And then open 5th, 2 is on the 4th string. And then 5th string, open 2, open. Alright, so all together we'll do this slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4. Back to the D and then the A. The A is going to start our walk down to finish out. So we walk down. That is the chorus. Alright, we'll do it together at a medium tempo. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's the way they play the chorus. I was really surprised. Again, I just always played it. But again, that's wrong. So anyhow, during the chorus, you will hear one lick come in, and it's real simple. It's just a 4 bent and then 4 unbent on the 3rd string to the 2nd fret, 4th and 2nd, like this. So it's a bend on the 4th fret of the 3rd string and then 4 unbent to 2-4-2. And you'll hear that in the first, and I can't remember if it's in the 2nd chorus, but again, that's a lick, it's in my notes. Now we're to the lead break. So we're to the 2nd lead break, and he'll say for sure. And what we're going to do is this. I'll just do the first half measure. Alright, So what we're doing there is we're going to hit the 5th and 4th string at the 7th fret, hammer into 9 on the 5th fret. Catch 7 on the 4th and 3rd string. And then we're going to start this lick where we go from the 10th fret, slid down to 9 on the 4th and 3rd string, hitting 7. We'll do that 5 times. Alright, at that point we're going to go back up. They're going to kind of use a counterpoint to that roll that we just did. Alright, the first one will be with our 5th fret of the 2nd string held and our 4 bent. We're going to do that twice and then a release. Then we're going to go to the 2nd fret of the 3rd and 2nd string, back to 4 on the 4th, and then back to 5-4 bent and release. And then 2-4 and then 2-4-2. We end up on 4. Alright? So the second half of that lead break, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we come right back in, sliding from 10 to 9 and then to 7, 5 times. Then we go into this lick. Alright, so we know that lick. 3-4 on the 6th string from open. 2-4 to 2 from the 5th to 4th string. 3rd fret coming back on the 5th string bent and then hitting an A power chord. And then coming up to our A. Slid down. Alright, now we're back into the 10s, 9, 7, 5 times. Alright, I'm not going to bore you with that, but once we finish it up, well, I'll go through it. Alright, then we're back into the 10, 9, 7, 5 times. Then we come up to our octave on the let's see, this would be the 10th fret of the 5th string to 12 on the 3rd string. We'll hit those octaves once each, 2 times. Then what we're going to do is slide from 9 to 11 on the 4th string, catching 9 on the 3rd to 11 back to 9. Alright, so we have this. Alright, now we're back into our slides and we're in the last measure of this solo. Alright, so this last lick of the solo is really ingenious. We're going to go from our 10, we're going to stay in this position, 10, 9, sliding to 7 on that 4th and 3rd string. Then we're going to move it to the 5th and 4th string. And like I said, it's just ingenious. So we'll go through it. I'm going to play it a little bit slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, so we know that D ending. I'm just using the bottom half of the chord there because we're right there. Rather than trying to come up to the D with the 5th root. Alright, so we're doing our 5 sets of 4th and 3rd string, 10, slid to 9, back to 5. Then we come up to the 5th and 4th string, strike that at the 9th fret. And then we're going to go 10, This is on the 5th and 4th string. 10 slid to 9, back to 7. Then we're just going to go a simple 10 slid to 9 on the 5th and 4th, and then 10 slid to 9 on the 4th and 3rd. And then our D. So from that 9th fret on the 5th and 4th string, it'll sound like this. Wow, just fantastic. So now we're into the 3rd verse, which is just like the other verses we've learned. We're into another chorus. Again, same thing we've learned. And then after that is the outro lead. Not too different from what we've learned, but we'll go over that, and then you'll have the whole song. All right, we got 4 measures for the outro lead, and you'll have the song. So let's do the first half measure of the outro lead. You'll see a rhythm to it. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so what we're doing here is bending up the 9th fret with 10 again and hitting it and then releasing it. We'll do that 3 times. After the 3rd time, we're going to go back to our 3rd and 2nd string 7 to 4th string at 9, and then 3rd and 2nd string 7, 9, 7. All right, so we have this all together for the first half measure. All right, the next half we'll go over. It's a little bit different from what we've done. So the second half of this measure will sound like this. Alright, so what we're doing is we're hitting that 5th string, 3rd fret to the 4th with the hammer on, striking 2 on the 3rd string. We'll do that twice. Then we're going to strike the 3rd string at the 4th fret with a bend, hit 4, and then bend and release. The release pulls off to 2. Then we hit 4, 2, and then 4 pulled off to 2. Go to 4th on the 4th string to 2 on the 3rd. Alright, so we have this all together. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you'll find the second measure, this outro lead, similar to the first measure, except we're going to do the 9 bent up with 10 twice, and then 7, 9, 7. So it'll sound like this. Then a bend and release with the 9 to 7. And then we come into the lick we know. Alright, so all of that second measure together. 1, 2, 3, 4. So for the third measure of the solo, we're going to do a 3, again, just like we did in the first measure. Alright, then we kind of go back to our 7, 9, 7, 9, 7 with the 2 strings. Alright, so it'll sound like this. Come into our octaves on the 10th fret to 12 on the 4th and 3rd string. Alright, so all together, 1, 2, 3, 4. finish out. Fourth measure to finish up the song, we're going to do one of those, just like we've done with the 9, bend up, hitting 9 again, and then 9 release, back to 7, 9, 7. Back to 9, and then 7 again, and then a 9 released, hitting 10 at the same time. 7, 9, then 7, 9, 7 on the 3rd and 2nd string. Then our ending with the A to E to F sharp and D. They continue on a little bit, but it fades out real quickly. So, you know these licks and you can play along, but this fourth measure of the solid song will sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, I really hope you enjoyed the lesson. It was really fun learning this song, which is what I do. I pick songs I enjoy learning and sharing, so enjoy.